Welcome back to your favorite podcast, and we are your beautiful hosts, Nika W.
I'm Ashley LeRae.
I'm Taisha Renee.
River the Realtor.
And we're back.
Yes. Wait, that was hard because y'all know usually when we sit at the table, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was like
whatever.
I feel
whatever
like I'm
happened.
in the middle.
That felt like a 4-way stop. Like you don't know who's
yeah,
going
exactly.
first.
Like,
I love that. How you guys doing? Y'all looking gorgeous.
Good. Can't complain. Blessed and highly favored.
I
That's
want
an extra.
Chanel. I want
That's
them
a
bag. That's how I'm feeling today.
I want
That's our favorite song. That should be our theme song.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
want
it
Sabina on
is.
this show.
Yeah.
So really, like, just, I don't know. I'll figure out
She
something.
gonna ask us questions.
We should have her come do the whiteboard episode. Sabina, if you watching, we want you on the show.
Yeah, let's
Contact
yeah.
us today.
Have our people call.
If this is your first time listening or tuning to our podcast, welcome. And our first segment of this episode is usually our peaks.
Yes.
So
Let's
we
talk
can
about what's
start
good
there.
happening in our
Yeah.
lives.
Talk about the good grant.
What's the good?
I can do my peak. I'll do my peak. I'm gonna do George Wise as my peak and for taking us out for brunch and showing us.
yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I missed that.
George again. He's Atlanta. He came to Atlanta. He showed us a great time. We always have a ball.
Yes.
We love George.
That was
for
a good time.
The
I have to
tequila
call him back.
mimosa still can just go
Okay.
to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick of the week.
That
That
was
was a good time
fun.
with my fellow realtor.
That was
colleagues and friends.
fun.
That was a good time.
Yeah. My peak, I guess we were just talking about this off camera, but this co-op agent, she's so nice. Oh my gosh.
Love it.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, she's so sweet. And you'd be surprised how much of a difference it makes when you're working with someone on the other side who is nice and who can just make the deal really smooth. So shout out to her.
I hope
I
to
like
co-op
that.
with one of those agents because, and again, I know y'all hate me because I be saying what I feel, but I've been very underwhelmed with the co-op agents. Oh my God.
The quality
I've been
is
very
the
underwhelmed,
quality.
and so I'm really ready for, except the new constructions. Y'all been going crazy. Resale,
Them too.
very underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know. My peak of the week is that I'm actually in my reaping season.
Period.
I had a lot of new constructions go under contract early in the year, and then I was kind of feeling like, am I selling houses? Because like, where is all of it? But then I looked at like
It'd
my
be like
numbers
that.
pending and was like, shh.
Right.
Construction.
So
It'd
the
be
new
like that.
construction is starting in August. It's August. I have a closing. A closing at least one every month until the end of the year because of the new construction. So that's really good. And like now I feel like I'm reaping all those under contracts. Because I'm like, I've had a whole bunch under contract with a closing.
That's what
We
happened
love
with
the
the
new
construction.
construction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but August is
Feeling
the
like
kickoff
that.
to the new construction, so I'm really, really excited.
We love that
Let's
for
get
you,
into
River.
it. Closings at the closing.
Yes, yes. And that's another peak of mine. I have a closing with a great co-op agent on Monday. So by the time this episode dropped, we would have been closed. This transaction is actually on my listing. It was a lot of back and forth. I'm so happy we're over.
Loganville?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he watched Real Talk Atlanta.
He saw us talking about him.
I love that.
So he's
Good thing
gonna
we're
see that.
saying
He
good
loves
things.
it. So shout out to Andre. Yeah.
What
we're
are y'all
closing
next
on Monday.
closings? I have a little idea I want to do for y'all.
Mine is
Mine is
closing
Monday.
11th.
August 11th.
Yeah.
Mine's at the end of August. New construction. I don't know.
That's a big one.
Yours is
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, mine is Monday.
I got something
on
I've
a
been working
Friday.
on for the ladies, but anyway.
Yes.
Ooh, what is that? When's your next
We're
one?
excited.
Should we know too?
Wednesday.
She's a thoughtful
Should we
friend.
know?
She is.
Oh.
Mhm.
Do you need my address? Are you gonna like send me
Girl,
something?
Okay.
I have your location. I know where you are.
So, as we're talking about closing, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you guys know, again, if this is your first time listening, we are 4 different realtors, 4 different personalities. The one thing that we do have in common, though, is we sell these houses.
Period.
Period.
That's a word.
Mm-hmm.
So every now and then we got to give you guys a little update on what the market is giving. You know, we got to tell you, especially for new buyers, new sellers, new investors, what to expect of the market. So this episode will be a brief market update in the middle of the summer and how it has been for buyers, sellers, based on our experiences, our deals, our transactions,
Yeah.
and all of that. So
Let's get into it.
let's get into it. So we're going to start with the buyers. So as a new buyer in the market, if a new buyer is looking to purchase in the market, what could you tell them about like inventory wise? And I know for me, I could say, based on my experience right now, buyers are very picky. However, we are in the
Nothing's
market.
changed.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
What's new?
But I would say like the good homes, like the area that are very demanding, we are running into multiple offer situation, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of seeing where the houses that are not really good products or they need a little bit of work, we have plenty of those on the market. Okay, they're staying, they're picking the good ones and they're leaving the bad ones.
Yeah.
So as far as inventory, I feel like it's stabilizing a little bit as far as month supply.
Yeah, we got 2 months supply.
Yeah, the
Every
inventory conversation
Yes.
is always a funny one to me because it's hard for us to talk about what happened in real estate before we got here.
Right.
So we only know low inventory.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always like,
That's our
I
norm.
think inventory is lit
Yeah.
right now. But the
Yeah.
other people are like, we don't have any inventory. And I'm like, well, babe, I started selling real estate in 2021 where we really didn't have inventory. So, I mean, yeah, we do have a 2-month supply, but I would say for my buyers, we haven't really had a lot of problems. I've probably gotten one offer not selected that was beat out by a cash offer. But I think inventory is a good point. It's going to be based on your location. I think obviously there are some places where, are more prominent areas people want to live in. But I think one thing I've been telling my buyers and really expressing and stretching is that the new construction inventory is up right now. And in my opinion, better than ever. I like this new wave of, not... And I know y'all like to pick y'all finishes. I really do. But I do like this new wave of like the new construction, picking the packages and then being already in place so that they can tell us, hey, we'll be done in 60 days. We'll be done in 90 days.
It's a lot quicker.
Yep. And so we're not seeing as many delays. So I say on the inventory point, I mean, we still do have low inventory, but definitely not as bad as
last year or the year
It's better than
before.
last year,
I
for sure.
definitely agree. I feel like every day there's homes coming on the market. So for my buyers that are shopping right now, let's say, we don't find the one today. I'm very hopeful now that we might find something better tomorrow or the day after. That's what I would say, like inventory wise, as a buyer to expect.
I think
agree
for
with
me,
that.
the inventory is really reflected upon how much you're willing to spend. Like I have my buyers who are in, the 400s, 300s price points. We have, good options. Like there's a good few options out there. But then you have your $200,000 price points. It's like, well, we got to it's oversaturated out here. Like it must be a lot of people in this because houses are either sitting on the market for an extended period of time. And when you go and see them, you kind of understand why you're
That's
sitting
what I
on
was
the market
saying,
for a certain period of time. Then you have those gems that come up.
As soon
And
as
as
they
soon
drop.
as it hits, I'm like, oh, we need to go see this right now. It feels like I'm back in 2021. Feels like I'm back there low key, like, oh, this a good one. Oop, the price not too steep. It can get you there. But I feel like for the other price points, it's favorable. Like new construction, resale, there's some good things that are hitting the market. And while there are multiple offers, I mean,
yeah,
you know why.
And that has to do with the average sales price right now in Atlanta is $530K. So if you're shopping anything below the average sales price, you're gonna run into the lower you go.
yes,
Right,
that's what
you're
I've been
gonna
telling
run
them.
into competition and multiple bids and
Right.
multiple offers.
I think that's normal. Like you said, any of my clients who are shopping like under 300,000, maybe like 350, we're always running into multiple offers. I gotta get a little creative, try to put some stipulations in there that might make it sound good. My thing is when they're shopping in that price point, obviously it's a lot more affordable. A lot of people are looking in that price point. So my thing is like they need to expand their search. If you want to go out a little farther, maybe like 20, 15 miles outside the city, oh yeah, you can find something. I literally had a client. Oh, we closed in the same community, the new construction in Douglasville. That house was so nice, brand new, looked amazing.
No, I wish I could have snatched one of those up.
Yeah, I do too. Right, brand new is 300,000, and I have another client who's shopping, or she's under contract, the same exact house, same exact floor plan for $200,000 more in Midtown. So it really depends. It's crazy. Same exact house. Obviously, like the finishes are a little nicer, but I think it heavily depends on the price point. Like you said, I think of course when you have a more expensive price point or a higher price point, you have more options, obviously. Especially depend on the location. Everybody wants to be in the city. Well, like you said, the average price point's a little higher in the city.
You want to be a city girl?
Yeah.
I hope you got some city money.
You gotta pay to play.
Because it's super high. I think one thing that I love to talk about when we do the market update is like what they can expect. And I think for buyers right now, in this market, the incentives, I feel like there has been somewhat of a shift. I think when we start running back into that competition, that whole idea of, I don't want to pay closing costs. Well, babe, neither do I. However, we're kind of running into a situation where if it's more competitive, there's going to be less that we can really negotiate for you if you want to get the house. So I feel like for buyers who are in that competitive price point, especially like in the 200,000s, that low 3 in these more than favorable areas, I think we have to start, preparing you guys to save up more and not be expecting those large, closing cost incentives unless you're, of course, going new construction.
Right. And I want to hit back on 2 more points. Expanding your search is very important as a buyer right now because you're so stuck to one area. Like I have a buyer right now. We're looking at Gwinnett. Everybody want to be in Gwinnett, but I know she will find the perfect home in McDonald, and I could possibly negotiate way more for her on the South Side or in Henry County than I can now. So expanding your search will allow you to negotiate better with as far as like closing costs, closing days, and all those terms. So yeah, I don't think I think the market is a good market. It's stabilizing, and I want to segue actually into the interest rates because when we're talking about market, we have to talk about the interest rates.
And that is what is running people away. And that's honestly what's affecting how much you're getting pre-approved for. Like, so people are seeing like their friends years ago got pre-approved for X amount of dollars. Well, the interest rates then was low. Now we're back steady. The market is where it usually is. We're in that 5 to 7%, really 6 to 7%.
There's a hike yesterday. So.
Yeah, we're really in at 6 to 7%. So
again,
that is going to lower your buying power for someone who got a 3% interest rate. So just knowing that it's steady and just having the understanding of if you can afford it, you can afford it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're getting a 6% at $300,000 or 3% at $500,000, if you can afford it, you can afford it.
Yeah.
Purchase it.
I think new constructions are doing a really great job at
I know.
providing the low interest rates. Listen,
That one
on
keeps
top
talking.
of closing costs.
On top of
Hey
closing
now.
costs.
4.99.
Yeah, that's
one
the
of my
most one I've
clients
seen.
just got a 4.99, and this other one, I'm gonna have to tell y'all about this one. In Henry County, the incentive was not only $20,000 off the purchase price, but she got $16,000 in incentives.
Oh
and
my
got
God.
a 5% interest rate.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat
That's
that.
$36,000 in incentives and a whole 1.5 almost off what the interest rate really is on the average.
That's
I think
good.
new
Right.
construction right now, if you are struggling in this market, whether it be with assets or whether it be what you're able to afford on a monthly basis, I think new construction is the wave. They have a lot more, things that are just tailored towards, making the buying experience a little bit more accessible. And if you know you're not cash heavy, that you can't, afford to buy your interest rate down yourself and you need those incentives, buy a new house. I don't really know what y'all issue
love
be
new.
with a
I
brand
know
new
what their
house.
issue is.
I like new.
One thing I will say, and it goes back to location, because my client in Midtown or West Midtown, we were trying so hard to get a little bit more from the builder. They were only giving her, it was a market interest rate and $5,000 towards her closing costs.
Can't do anything with $5,000.
Yeah, like it really wasn't a lot.
really
Not in
don't move
Midtown.
But you had to remember like where you were shopping. Like she was like, that's fine. Like we have plenty of other people who are interested in this area and we are selling. She's like, well, the community will be sold out like by the end of this week. So that's
Probably ain't lying either.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
Like,
And I mean, the home
if you don't want it,
appraised-
somebody else want it.
Exactly. Like it depends on the demand. Like if you know anything about like what's going on in certain areas, West Midtown is one of those areas. In the next couple of years, it already is kind of booming now. So just imagine then. So location's a big thing with that. But
Pink
new
is the
construction,
new Buckhead, ladies.
yeah.
Get with the times.
You're not lying.
Yeah, new construction, I feel like I have a client like that. It's like she's really stuck on resale. There's not enough character in the home for new construction.
They love that
Wow.
character.
I'm like, do you want a home or not?
Spell character.
Yeah.
No, can you spell character
it.
to me? Because I think that I get it. I feel like everybody wants these like dream homes, and I think the dream home is what you imagine in your head. It's not necessarily like a big house or a grand house, but if you imagine having 10-foot ceilings and you walk in the house with 8, you don't want it anymore. It doesn't have any character. Leave your character at home, okay? I think that when you are not in a position to pay for character, you have to take what the market is willing to give you. I think we are in like a challenging place with the interest rates. If we had this level of inventory with that 3% interest rate, we would be going crazy. But you still wouldn't be able to get a house because it would be so many more competitive offers. So I think this market is pretty much telling you, like Taisha said, buy what you can afford, buy what you're being pre-approved for. This will not be y'all last opportunity to purchase, but y'all will miss out on that wave and that gap to be able to make some money and create wealth through real estate if you still wait for this shit.
Exactly. Because most times it's your first home,
Yes.
right? Not your forever home. If it's your forever home, that's another conversation. That's your forever home. But if it's your first home, just keep the investment in mind.
Definitely. And not having to go and pay out for repairs. Either way, you just got to make smart choices.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like you have a brand new house right? It might lack character,
Go
but
put
you have
some
a
shit
way
on
better
your
deal.
own. I'm about to say, put some
Right.
shit on
Go
there.
You
buy
have a
those
way
devices
better
on character,
deal.
girl.
But because of character, that's you start thinking about what other people think, what other people when they come to your house, what it's gonna look like. But you're willing to pay $20,000 in repairs, and your mortgage is $2,500 for way below what you could have bought. You
Right.
know,
I think the people got to realize too, when the market does shift and we do get that lower interest rate, that same house that was worth $300,000, you're gonna be paying $400,000 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same house, everything is going to be exactly the same, but you're just gonna have a lower interest rate, and that's gonna make you happy. You should never be happy with paying more for a house that's really not worth it.
Yeah.
And that's all that's gonna happen. So I feel like the price of homes are coming down. We are negotiating a little bit more on the price, but the interest rate is high. When it drops, they're just gonna skyrocket the price back up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
That's the worst time to buy, actually. I think it's funny when people say like they're gonna wait to purchase until the market crashes. Like, why would you want to buy a
The market's not
depreciating
gonna
asset?
crash, y'all.
Competitive wise, I want the lower interest
I
rate.
want the lower interest rate,
but
but
that's what
I mean,
matters.
a lot
But
of
then
people
you-
during COVID and the pandemic was paying like, I'll pay $50,000 over asking.
Yeah.
Now this year your job relocated you, your house is getting appraised, and it's less than what you pay for. You're losing money, and that's what I'm saying. When,
Exactly.
when the interest rate low, it's a depreciating asset for sure. I have a client, we're closing on Wednesday. Amazing house. We got the house for $210. We looked in the tax records. They bought the house for $230 during the pandemic.
Wow.
So it's like, what can you really do? Because they paid over. Oh, we love this house. We wanted. We got the cash. Now you gotta leave, and you can't afford it. So again, I think you gotta stop focusing so much on the interest rate being high, because it's like anything can happen to the shift. But just understand that price points are also going to be affected. It's not just like the house is going to stay low, the interest rate is going to be low, and you're just going to get this amazing deal that we're trying to keep you from. That's not the case.
And it's going to be worse. Like, obviously, when interest rates go low, everybody's going to try to buy. We're going to be back to like 100 offers on
I can't wait. I'm
exhausted.
refinancing.
You're gonna be exhausting. It's gonna be exhausting. So, ladies, thank you for all your tips for the buyers. Now we're gonna get into the sellers a little bit as far as like what they can expect out of the market. I know first thing first, if you're listing your house on the market right now, as a listing agent, the first thing I'm gonna tell you, you have to be patient because. Especially if you're trying to cut corners, okay? You're going to have to be patient a little bit because buyers are picky.
Cheaters are not prospering right now.
They're not, because buyers they're very picky of where they investing their money into, and you just got to think about that. So as far as like average days on the market right now, I would say it's between...
about 40 days.
Yeah, like I would say 30, 60 days. So you can't rush the process.
Yeah.
I think the caveat though is going to be the same thing with the buyers: the price and the location.
And
If
how
you
it's
can
marketed.
produce me a house in Marietta in certain zip codes for $350, I guarantee you
It's
Gonna be gone.
your house is as good as gone. But some of those areas that are a little bit harder to sell on the resale side, the ones that are still up and coming, y'all can use your imaginations. I don't want to.
Even then, like different areas, even on the south side, if you get a gem on the
It's
market
gone.
at a good price point, it's gone.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gone.
you have the price to sell in this market if you want
definitely
it to.
that.
If you want to get it, if you want to put your house on the market for that top dollar, you are going to let it sit. But if you price to sell in this market today,
It's going
house
to
is good
sell.
as gone.
And it's
going
the
to sell.
presentation, because some of these houses, even the
Girl.
photos, from the photos, is like saying like the buyer
Buyers
doesn't want to
don't
see it.
Don't wanna
So
see
when
it.
you get there, how it smells, like how it looks, is like
Presented.
that's important, because now it's like, okay, I can't see myself living here
Right.
because of how you living in this house. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I literally showed my client a house in South Fulton, like Fairburn area yesterday. And when I tell y'all, the house has actually been on the market for, y'all want to guess how long?
How long?
A year.
70.
146 days. And my client didn't want to see it. The photos were so ugly, but I saw the potential in the house, so I dragged her out there, and we got there.
House was gorgeous.
The house was so nice. I was like, why has this not been sold? But when I get it, because the photography sucked, it literally looked like someone took it out of I don't even know, like this, like just put the camera through there. It looks
I
so
love
bad.
when y'all do that.
The house was so nice. Like, I was so shocked. So I was like, we got to get. But the thing is, I do think the house is worth what they priced it at, but I think they should have priced it a little lower than what it's worth to get a little bit more traction. So that's a big thing. And it's a funny story. I kind of want to say it, but I'll tell y'all off camera.
Okay.
I think another thing for sellers right now is concessions on the resale side for those top dollar sales. Like, I had a listing in Union City. We got an offer. It was decent, but it wasn't enough. And I'm like, let's just wait. Like, it's a great house. It's sitting on the basement. It's going to sell. But when I did her, like, seller net proceed, I told her, like, be prepared to pay somewhere between 2 and 3% if you get this top dollar number. And that's exactly what happened. We got a VA client. We paid the closing costs, but she got her top line number, and of course it appraised. So I think that if you are a seller, you have to just kind of consider what's the value to you.
give?
Do you really want to net a certain number? Do you want a quick close and just to be done with it? Do you want to come out with less repairs? I think all of those things in this market are going to give you an idea of where you need to be. But
having those conversations, and another thing I do for my sellers, like every day I'm giving you updates about what the market is saying about the house. One of my listings right now, being that it was in a great area and everything, when we did the comps, it did look like, you know, things were selling fast, but as time proceed, again, we're ending this summer market, you know, we're kind of seeing a little slow activity. And what ended up happening is because we had a lot of competition on that street. It's like 30 other listings that were new construction or being rebuilt or, you know, renovated. So analysis is super important when you're a seller in the market, because you want to know what your next move is going to be. What you don't want is your house to just sit there, because the more it sits, the
lower the
less,
offers.
the lower the offers, but the smaller room you have for negotiation.
But I will say, I've been seeing some houses that's been on the market for a long time, and those sellers are firm.
That's what they want.
And I'd be like, well, contact me if they get a little bit more flexible, because no, you've been on the market for 140 days. You want me to give you?
I do not negotiate with terrorists.
Okay,
that's terrorists.
Okay, you've been on the market for 140 days.
Like
you better
that.
be
If
happy
nobody
with
wanted this
whatever
home
I offer this
for 100 plus days, and you're really trying to fight with me,
keep
sorry,
it, keep it there. Best of luck to you.
Literally.
Best of luck to you.
The house I showed my client yesterday, when I called the agent to find out more about it, you know, I was like, is it still available? She's like, yes, we're only taking cash offers. I was like, well, that's why it's been sitting on the market for 150 days. You're scaring the people who are financing away. Oh my gosh.
She don't know how to.
I
couldn't believe she said that.
Let's not get into
Please,
it. Let's not get
I'm
into it.
underwhelmed with the selling.
Yes.
Something I do want to mention too. I had a listing appointment a couple weeks ago, and my client sold he bought his house in 2020 for $500,000, brand new construction, and he's about to sell it for $800,000 in 3 years. Like, that's crazy. I mean, and he didn't like do many repairs. He added like a deck to the house.
Yeah,
Market update. Nothing has changed on new construction. Get on the equity bandwagon.
That equity is crazy. He
No,
made
I
more
feel
on that
about new
house than
construction.
like most people's salaries in a year.
Most people's salaries in 5 years. You know, the average American is not seeing a 6-figure check. You know, and if you can live in a house for 12 to 18 months and then resell it for 6+ figures, you've hit a gold mine, because people work a whole year and still don't see that type of money. I think that's something important. I think a shift thing that we also need to think about is like the time frame that we're getting into, right? The summer market is coming to an end, and to my unbeknownst to me, I guess kids are back in school starting on Monday, which is crazy, right? In Chicago, we start school after Labor Day. So August is crazy, but the beginning of August is even crazier. But I think with that, people have to understand in these areas where it's really attracted to a lot of families because of school district and stuff, you might start seeing a shift too, because a lot of people are not trying to uproot their kids right in the, you know, the peak
at
of
the
school
beginning.
started.
They have to move.
They might be trying to wait for a settle break
and
like that. So I would be, if you're a seller, I would pay attention to that, especially when, you know, in these specific school district, those family-oriented more neighborhoods are going to start seeing a shift. I feel like because school is starting, people want to, you know, get their kids comfortable before moving around.
You have to be very strategic on how you present that listing as well, and working with a knowledgeable realtor, like we always say, because that's going to make a difference. So yeah, I'm glad we talked about it, and I know for investors, it's always a great time to invest in Atlanta, y'all, because the development.
Look,
call me.
Those are getting snatched.
Okay, like investors, I love investors. I feel like they know what they want. Like, I was at a showing the other day, and I could tell they were investors. They got out the car, like it was mad dramatic. They got out the car, they had like the phone, and they're like, "Okay, we're coming in, we're going in. This is how it looks." I'm like, "Oh yeah, they're finna put a cash offer."
They'll be on the phone like, "Let me call my developer. He needs to see."
Yeah,
like that's how they be.
I think investors. No update there for me. It's Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay. I
You
think
can never
anywhere
go
you're
wrong.
experiencing a shift in just like the infrastructure, it's a good place. Every time I look up, it's something new. Like, I was driving one day, it was a dirt road. I'm there today, it's a Publix. Like, I don't know what's going on, but like Atlanta is building development so fast on things that are commercial. So businesses, grocery stores, shops, restaurants, and those are the things people want to live by. So I think if you are an investor, whether you fixing and flipping, or you looking to build a new development, like the market is there, the land is obviously there. If you're an investor right now,
Yeah.
And we're still a very affordable state.
Oh, yeah.
Especially compared to other places.
Yeah.
Like,
State for sure, too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was looking at some stuff in, like,
Macon?
South. I'm talking 220.
Yeah.
10 bedrooms, a pool.
Yes.
I'm like,
Even
whoa.
for the new
Macon's
construction.
Warner Robins, that's a nice little area.
Yeah.
That's
Macon,
always kind of cute
they
out
have the
here.
deals,
Yeah.
the new
Wow.
construction.
They building up over there
If
too.
I could
yeah.
afford a driver, I would be in Macon.
Yeah.
No, for real.
It's only an
They got
hour.
some nice stuff out there.
Yeah. I think I think it's so funny because y'all always see people, they'll see like a really old house that needs a lot of work, but it's for sale for like $400,000 in the city, and they're like, who's paying $400,000 for that piece of
In the city.
crap? But people don't realize it's not just about, you're not just paying for how the house looks. First of all, you're paying for the location and the land that it's sitting on. And y'all don't realize, like, an investor would snatch up a $400,000 property in town. If it's going to bring them, they can redevelop it or tear it down, build it up, and sell $1 million house on
Yeah,
top
it's
of
more
it.
of a mindset.
Yeah,
I love the
that's how
mindset of the
real
investors
estate
because they
works.
see beyond, they see beyond the numbers and just what's going on. They're focused on and they do their research too. Like they're very smart on where, they're very smart on like how they're going to purchase this and the numbers. They're very firm on numbers.
I love that you just described that. And so with that, I want you to know that if you were not firm on the numbers, you didn't do your research, you are not an investor. So this has nothing to do with you. I just want to make that
Like, so you agree you're not an investor.
I'm not.
For people who are like, I'm a real estate investor because I bought my house last week, and I just, no, we're not talking to you all. You all the buyers.
Yes,
That's
yes.
very important.
So yeah, I think this was a good
Good
episode.
episode. I know that's our
Because we have to
favorite.
keep you guys updated on the market. This is what we do. Of course, if you have any more questions for us, definitely reach out to each one of us. I'm sure we can guide you to the right direction. Sure. And yeah, we're going to
Let's jump into
segue into our favorite topic of the day.
Our question of the day.
Yes.
With who?
Ashley Lorraine.
Not
I
with
love
who.
how y'all say my name.
Yeah, like now you're chastising.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, come on, keep it coming.
It's crazy. So yes, this is our favorite segment of the show. It's called the Question of the Day, where we take questions from you guys, our audience, and you can shoot us your questions via Instagram. Follow us at Real Talk Atlanta, or send us an email at realtalkatlpod@gmail.com, and we would love to answer your question live on the show. So for today's question, let me unlock my phone. Someone wanted to know, do you feel like your initial goals for 2023 are still your goals for the rest of the year?
Of course.
Yeah, ain't
Yeah.
nothing changed.
We still working. We still grinding. We still got.
Yours aren't?
No,
What's
go ahead
changed? Oh,
I mean, the goals are the goals. I want to reach it. If I don't reach it, I'm
yeah.
fine with that. But the
Yeah.
goals are the goals.
Yeah.
I feel like, go ahead.
My goals have pretty much stayed the same. Like, yeah, I feel like as the year has progressed and I kind of like take a look at everything that's been going on, I try to reevaluate maybe or tweak some things to get to my goal or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, yeah, the goals are still the same. Yeah.
Yeah, my goal is always the same. Like my bigger goal in life or in general, like every year, is to be better in what I do or better as a person.
Better than last year.
Yeah, better than last year.
Last quarter.
So as we go through, like as I go through the year, I kind of like just always like reevaluate, like probably every month, like, okay, Nika, what can we do better?
Yeah.
You know, professionally in my business, as a friend, as
From that aspect, yeah.
Yeah.
But the big overarching, this is what I'm trying to hit.
Yeah.
But to get there, that changes for sure.
I
So
think that's kind of where I was going. I think my overarching goal, just like everybody, like you said, everybody, we want to be successful. We want to be great. We want to be better than we were the last time. I think for me, my name truly is River for a reason. I really just like
flow.
I don't know. And I feel like every time like I do accomplish something, whether it was something I planned to or not, it like makes me realign and like reset my vision on what I really want to accomplish, or I pivot. Like, this, I don't care about this no more. Actually, I want to focus on this. So my goals probably changed like 10 times just today in general. Like, I don't know. I'm always changing. But some of the stuff that I set forth to do when the year first started, I'm like, I really don't care about that anymore. I'm actually a little bit more aligned with this. So my goals are
I can see
definitely
some
different.
Yeah, I
goals,
can see that.
you pick up new things along the way throughout the year, you know. So
yeah.
I get
Change, pivot, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that though. The goal is still to win.
The goal is just to be successful and do my best.
Yeah.
Whatever I best
Do
is.
my best. I love that.
Yeah, because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to
Oh,
like
yeah. I hate
reach.
that.
we have to reach that goal, but
Yeah, I
really
ain't
like
gonna
we're
lie.
living
Lately,
in
I've
our
been, like,
dreams, like we're
flipping the
living our
bird.
biggest dreams.
God, whatever you see fit for me to
Okay,
accomplish.
I am
because
And
thankful
that's
for
the
it.
prayer.
I am
Yeah,
thankful
that's
for
a
it.
prayer.
I need Sierra's prayer.
I don't.
Not for a man. Not you praying for a man.
Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
not enough.
I'm praying for the funds.
I'm
Give me
thinking of
Oprah's prayer.
mine.
Because Sierra went to
Beyonce's prayer.
You hear me? What was that? I need that Renaissance prayer.
I'm dead. Okay, so
great.
thank you guys for tuning in to your favorite real estate podcast. We're looking to see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.